Alright guys, Hobby Masters Network here, part 3 with the rear end assembly. Got the part back from RPM. Yeah, let's go ahead and open it up. Should be a new part. And yep, there it is. That's the piece that I broke. It's the piece that goes right there on the transmission, and yeah, it broke right there. Like that little part right there came off when I landed the wrong way on the wheelie bar, and this piece breaking is what inspired this rebuild, as well as the bulkhead going out. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm gonna cut, set up my things, and yeah, we'll get to it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do for this build is, the rear assembly, is put together the RPM wheelie bar. So like I said, this is different than what RPM suggests, but I noticed that it goes all the way through, so I could use these longer, better screws when mounting the putting the wheelie bar pieces together. So I'm going to put that in, put that in. Use 2.5 to screw it down. The other side, same thing, 2 screws. Sorry if I did that off camera, but you could probably figure it out what I did. Alright, I'm going to get these tightened down. I'll be right back. Alright, now that I got the wheelie bar assembled, it's time to go ahead and attach it to the transmission box, along with the gearbox cover. To do this, I'm going to need 3 of the long screws that RPM included, the smaller screw that RPM included, a screw with a nut, and a smaller screw for the lower part of the gearbox. First thing I'm going to do is just slip it on to the transmission itself. Move the heatsink out of the way, and it goes right into place. Long screw up top, long screw on the bottom, a long screw right here in the middle. Gonna go ahead and tighten this down. Next thing I'm going to do is take the nut off the screw. It's going to be easier said than done, of course it is. Using 2.5 millimeters, and I'm going to put it in through the back, put it through the wheelie bar mount, and put it into the gearbox. And I'm putting it in through the back, so that way when I have to get to the motor, when I have to remove the gearbox cover, all I have to do is remove the nut, and I don't have to remove the whole screw. So I'll get that tightened down in a second. The last screw is going to be right here on this side, and it goes straight into the gearbox. So let me go ahead and get all this tightened down, and I'll be right back. Alright, now that I got all the screws in place, I can go ahead and put on the gear cover. I'm just going to slide that onto the upper screw. Hold it down on this side with the 2.5 millimeters. put on the nut. Four-way wrench, tighten it down. Now I'm going to use a smaller screw with 2 millimeters and put it into the lower hole on the transmission right there. Next thing I'm going to do is put on the skid plate, and there's a screw that goes in each one of these holes, and I'm going to go ahead and put those in. Be right back. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is attach the camber links to the back of the shock tower, into the bottom holes using a shoulder screw and a washer. And how do I know it's the back of the shock tower? It's because the front of it has two little knobs on each side for the shocks. So yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Be right back. Next thing I'm going to do is build the axle carrier, the rear axle carrier, with 2 ball bearings on each side, using a Teflon washer first on the drive shaft, then sliding on the axle carrier, then followed by 1 more Teflon washer, then an axle pin, then the STRC hex hub, slide it onto the axle, and then tighten it down using 1.5 millimeters. Same thing for the other side. The reason I did it this way is because it's the easiest with the drive shafts. Okay, now that I got that done, I'm going to go ahead and attach the A-arms using the STRC hinge pins. Yeah, this one goes over here, and I'm going to make it to where the nut is facing the camera. So I'm going to put the screw side in through the back. You know what, I'm going to put it in through the front, because that'll be easiest for removing the A-arms. So sliding it in through the front, and then putting the nut on the other side, tightening it down, same for the other side. Let me go ahead and do that. And the reason I'm making this video kind of quick is because my camera's starting to die and I want to get it done today. So yeah, let me go ahead and get that done. Alright, next step is to attach the axle carriers to the A-arms. And I'm going to slide it in through the front again just to match. I'm putting it into the axle carrier's bottom hole. Nut on the other side. Nut on the other side of the axle carrier, hinge pin. Same process for the other side. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is attach the shock tower to the vehicle. Then I'm going to attach the camber link. Wrong way. Attach the shock tower to the vehicle, and then attach the camber links to the axle carriers using shoulder screws. Next thing I'm going to do is attach the shocks using the same screws as in the front end assembly. So I'm going to go ahead and get the shocks on there, and I'll be right back. Next thing I'm going to do is attach the body mounts to the 4 holes at the top of the shock tower. Last thing I'm going to be doing for this video is attaching the wheelie bar using 4 shoulder screws. And that's all I will be doing for this video. Next video, I will be assembling the chassis, and then the video after that, I'll be putting it all together. So stay tuned for those parts. I'm going to go ahead and attach the wheelie bar. See you guys next time.